My birthday is tomorrow, so just give me a big thumbs up for turning 27. I would really appreciate it. What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. My name is Justin, and you guys are here with JustINKD. So have you been thinking about getting a tattoo recently? All you can think about is getting this tattoo done. Literally, it's the only thing that's on your mind. But there's one thing that's stopping you from getting it, and that is you got strict or old-fashioned parents that refuse for you to get one. They tell you absolutely not. Well, in today's video, I'm going to be going over the whole topic at hand. I'm going to be telling you guys, giving you some insight into how I was able to go about and get so many tattoos with dealing with such a strict and old-fashioned father. I'll also be telling you guys what my parents have told me on how I acted in terms of how I went about it and was able to get it. And then finally, how you should be able to go about and convincing your strict parents to get your next tattoo. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, I want to welcome you. In this channel, we pretty much talk about all things that are tattoo related, my experience with certain topics, but most importantly, guys, my journey towards getting amazing tattoos and working towards an awesome bodysuit. From the Pharaoh to the Anubis to the out of this world astronaut, all have been amazing pieces. But I got some great news. I have booked another couple more appointments with Brandon. We're going to obviously be finishing off the leg, but maybe a couple other areas as well. So you definitely don't want to miss those tattoos or any other content. So go ahead, subscribe, join the community. But let's get to today's video, guys. Let's go. So I know we all love our parents. We do what they say, or we follow their rules either out of respect or because we live under their roof like I do, and we gotta follow a set of rules. Remember that old saying, my house, my rules? I'm sure we've all heard it. But I've had a lot of you guys reach out to me and ask me, Justin, how do I go about getting a tattoo with strict or old-fashioned parents? I feel like I'm the perfect person to kind of bring this topic to you guys because I've had to deal with strict parents throughout my lifetime, and my father is still very strict on tattoos. But I'm able to get all this done. So how did I go about it? So I'm able to kind of look back and say, you know, I did this, this, and this. But I was also able to sit down with my parents because I'm a lot more mature now. And I was able to ask them, like, you know, how did I convince you to let me get something that you were totally against? So I'm going to bring that all to you guys. But I also want to kind of make a disclaimer at the same time. Everything that I say in this video is from my personal experiences and my parents. Everybody has different sets of parents with different kind of beliefs, religious backgrounds, or a lot of them are just stubborn in terms of their viewpoint because they're old-fashioned. So what I say in this video may not work under certain circumstances. But I also do feel like at the same time, this video does hold a lot of important information to help you guys convince your old-fashioned or strict parents to get that tattoo. But I also want you guys to go ahead in the comments right now and let me know, do you have any strict or old-fashioned parents, and what are their viewpoints on tattoos? Do they allow tattoos, or are they totally against it? Let me know now. When I was a young kid, I knew right away that I wanted tattoos. I loved how they looked. I loved the meaning that you could put behind them, and also the art that was kind of incorporated as well. So I knew right off the bat I wanted tattoos. And as you guys can see, I have a lot of tattoos now. I have 2 sleeves, a leg sleeve, and I'm working towards a bodysuit. But to tell you guys that getting here right now where I am was easy would be an understatement. I had to jump through a lot of hoops. I had to do a lot of things to get where I am. And I'm still continuously working to get that bodysuit and convince them to let me do it. My parents, I'm going to give you a little kind of background on them. They were grown up in the old-fashioned Italian background of a household. My grandparents, my nonna, my nonnos, they were all very strict in terms of their mentality and their viewpoints, very old-fashioned, stubborn. You think one thing and that's it. It's set in stone. So their beliefs on tattoos were that they're for criminals, they're for gangsters, piercings, tattoos. No, nothing. You can't get it done. So that kind of was instilled into my parents' mentality, and they grew up the whole time thinking the same thing as well, until I came along one day where I said, Mom, Dad, I want a tattoo. And let me tell you, that conversation was shut down right away. But I am a stubborn kid, and when I want something really badly, I really push it more than I should. So every time I would just push this conversation at hand. Mom, Dad, I want a tattoo. I want a tattoo. I want a tattoo. No, 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 no. But every time that conversation would get a little longer and they would listen to me a little more. But then eventually I got lucky one day in terms of the fact that my mom ended up getting a tattoo. I think I kind of convinced her to get one. And then when she got it, that's when the floodgates opened in terms of my ability now, because after a couple months after she got hers done, she brought me, signed for my tattoo, and I was able to get it done. My dad, he was still not happy about it, but he was accepting. I know what they always say, the woman holds the power, and in this case, it was definitely true. So now I'm going to talk to you guys about how I kind of went about getting tattoos at a young age, how I was able to convince them now looking back, but also at the same time when I was sitting down with my parents and they kind of explained to these things on what I was able to do. So the first one you're probably thinking is probably obvious, is I had my mom backing me, and that was probably the hugest one out of all in terms of starting it all off. It's definitely a lot easier when you have a parent that kind of has your back, kind of understands it a bit more. And having her now have a tattoo, understand, what it can resemble, what it can mean, how it can make you feel, definitely helped out in convincing the other strict parent that it wasn't as bad. My dad, he still didn't like them. He still wasn't really accepting of them. But, having that other parent kind of have your back really helped out a lot. The next one I obviously want to think as well is I was respectful, honest. I showed just, a good kind of head on myself. I wasn't trying to push it too much. I told them how it meant to me. I didn't lie in terms of, certain things. There were certain things I wasn't honestly truthful about, but those were kind of just little things that didn't really need to be said. Another big thing was also, being able to tell them that tattoos didn't have that same meaning that they once did. They were no longer for just criminals, gangsters. They were now more socially acceptable, popular. Everybody has them. So that was a big one as well. But also at the same time, showing them that I'm going to be getting this good work done. I'm not going to be getting this kind of really kind of grimy looking stuff. The two biggest factors I feel though were, one, I was able to kind of really push the meaning on them. My first one was a cross, and I just really wanted to have a cross on me at the time because of my certain beliefs and religious things. They understood that, and they saw that it had a lot of meaning to me, and they were able to let me get it. But the biggest one I feel, and this is the one my mom kind of told me that was able to help convince my dad, and that was the way I acted as an adult in terms of my mannerisms. Helping around the house, being safe, not getting in trouble, not getting into fights, doing things, the little things around the house that I wasn't asked for. And when your parents see you as an adult and acting like one, they're going to treat you more like one. They're going to be able to give you kind of a little more freedom, let you do your own thing. So as you guys can see, I had to do a lot of things in terms of convincing my parents to get these tattoos. Jumped through a lot of hoops, had to prove myself a lot. But I'm sure a couple of you guys are probably thinking, what happens if I don't want to tell my parents I'm getting it? What happens if I just do it without the permission? Say, fuck this, I'm getting it done. They won't even know. And all I got to say to you guys is proceed with caution if you guys want to do this. I'm going to tell you not to do it because I did it myself. But I'm going to tell you what my experiences were and what I learned from doing that without getting their permission. Now, there is a saying that goes, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission. And although I do kind of believe this saying to be a little true, I would definitely recommend you don't follow this as a life motto. Just because I'm going to use my example on my third tattoo, which was my chest, which I'm currently getting removed. When I got this one done, I did it in the fact of I just went and got it done. I didn't get their permission. I didn't tell them about it. And let me tell you, when my dad found out about this tattoo, he freaked. He didn't talk to him for a week, and I can honestly look back and say that this tattoo really screwed up my kind of journey towards getting more tattoos, because I broke trust with my parents, and I kind of broke that kind of, adult image that I had in their minds. I was no longer an adult to them because I didn't go about it in the right way that I was doing it in my other two tattoos. My two tattoos I got before that, they were accepting of it because I went to them, I told them about it, and I got permission. This one, I didn't do that. So just really watch out for this kind of thing. Again, when I look back now and I see my two tattoos and then my third one, the big difference is respect being shown towards my parents and being viewed as an adult. I lost both of those things, and in terms, I lost being able to get tattoos for many, many years later. But I want you guys to go ahead in the comments and let me know, have you ever gotten a tattoo without your parents knowing? Did they find out? And if they did find out, let me know how they reacted. I would love to hear some of these stories. So from what I've told you guys so far, there are some key points that we can definitely take away from this in terms of how to act and proceed with convincing your parents. But I also do have a couple more key points to kind of bring to your attention, and that is spin the tattoo off and make it as meaningful as you possibly can. Even if it doesn't have as much meaning as it does, try to stress that meaning. This one I think is a big one as well. And that is, try to find somebody that has good tattoos. Maybe you have a friend, maybe you have a family member that has a good tattoo. Bring them over to the house, or let your parents see that, this person that they know has a tattoo and it looks good. This next one is in terms of shows you're thinking of long term. And that is, if you know what you're going to do in terms of profession, what you're going to do as a job in the future, tell them. If you're going to go into construction, if you're going to go blue collar kind of trades, tell them, be like, listen, I'm going into this. It's going to be accepting tattoos or visible, any kind of tattoo, I can get a job with it. At least let them know that you're thinking about the long term. The next one, and this is where I say you can kind of get into the little white lies, is say you're not going to get one for a long time. Now, I wouldn't say you go lie and say, I'm not going to get one for a long time and then get one the next week. Maybe wait or spread it out for a couple months. I've had it where I said I'm not going to get a tattoo for a long time and ended up kind of getting a tattoo maybe 4 or 5 months later, a lot shorter than they thought. Kind of things happened and I was able to get it, but that's not the point. Now, the last one I got for you guys, and this is a big one as well, and that is to have somebody in your corner, whether that is a family member, another parent, or maybe a friend. have somebody in your corner to help convince them that, tattoos aren't as bad as they think. Without my mom, I don't think I would have been able to convince my dad. Without my sister, I don't think I would have been able to convince both of them at one point. So it definitely helps to have somebody in your corner to convince your strict parents that tattoos aren't as bad. And when they hear from somebody else, they do lighten up a bit as well. So if there are some key points that I can take away from this whole video and share with you, is be respectful, show your parents respect. That's the biggest one out of them all. Also at the same time, show that you're an adult, act like an adult, talk like an adult, show them that you can make smart life decisions. If they can see that in you, I guarantee you they will be more open to give you the freedom to go get a tattoo. The next one is go about this in terms of, proving to them that tattoos aren't what they used to be. Show them good work. Show them, other things online that you see. Just prove to them that they are no longer associated with criminals, gangsters, or bad people, or jail, or any type of that thing, because I guarantee you a lot of their mindset is still on that. Also at the same time, be honest with them. You may have those little white lies like I said, but keep those to yourselves. And finally, if you do kind of want to go about it in terms of not getting permission or telling them, just be prepared to face some consequences if they do find out. Trust me, it is not worth it. But what I've also realized at the same time is as you get older, your freedom is kind of gained a little more. You're able to do more. I'm 27 now. I'm able to kind of go about things how I want to. But I still do kind of respect them. I always tell them when I'm going to get a tattoo just to let them know. Because again, I just want to show them as much respect as I can. If you are in the age group from like 15 to 18 living under their roof and they say no, be respectful about their kind of opinion and go about everything that I said. Just be patient and try to convince them otherwise and do all those other steps. Now, I want you guys to go ahead in the comments right now and let me know, how did you go about getting a tattoo and what did you realize that you did to convince them and what was the outcome? Please let me know. I would love to see what you guys did. Maybe something I missed or maybe any other good pointers. I want people to go into the comments and read them so they can implement them on their strict parents as well. And then maybe let them get the tattoo from maybe a tip that you gave them. But I would also appreciate a big thumbs up. My birthday is tomorrow, so just give me a big thumbs up for turning 27. I would really appreciate it. Big year. And then like always, I just want to say thank you guys so much for giving me your time. I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next week. Like always, Justin out. Later, guys.